14 degrees of launch. But now all of a sudden, I'm starting to get that angle of attack up. Today I want to show you how to hit up on the golf ball, improve your dynamic loft and create a better ball speed to make you hit the ball further than you've ever done. I've added another data point to the screen this morning, and it's launch angle. Launch angle will give you the initial height of your golf shot. A lot of us are trying to hit high bombs. Well, you've got to have some club head speed for that. But today I just want you to be more efficient and start to understand how we're going to use these levers with the driver. I've had a few requests. Stuart, any chance you could do a little recap on the driver? Well, today is the day, my friends, coming onto the weekend, and hopefully you can use it to find a few more fairways. So let's just hit one out there and just start to talk about some of the data points that we might see up on the screen. So the data points from left to right here, our angle of attack is up at 1 degree. My club path, very lucky again, at 0.08, dead straight face to path, and the face angle is 1 degree open to the target. The difference between where my path was pointing and where my face was pointing, the difference between the two is a difference of 1 degree. That would give you the smallest of fades. Depending on where you've hit the golf ball on the club face, if you've hit it out of the heel, you would have accentuated a fade. If you'd have hit it out the toe, you would have seen a bit of a draw. Because it's been fairly neutral and I've got a very straight shot, tends to point towards the fact that I've hit it out the middle and I've created that straight ball flight. The launch angle is the one that a lot of golfers, when you're being club fitted, and here at Precision Golf, when we are fitting golfers with their driver, launch angle is a biggie, and it depends on your club speed, the launch angle that you will require with the aid of the right spin rate. Not going to go into that. Check out the Precision Golf YouTube channel for all of these great insights that they'll offer up to you. So what I wanted to do today is really talk about attack angle and this launch angle. Attack angle, if you've seen one of my videos that's up in the top right hand corner of the screen there, I talk about how we can hit up on the golf ball to create that good launch. Understand that hitting up on the ball can come in two ways. Ultimately, TrackMan is only reading the club head, and whether the club strikes up or the club head strikes down, the only importance to TrackMan is where the club is coming from and going to. So if the club head is arriving from lower than the ball and then exits above the ball, your angle of attack will be up. If the club head is arriving higher than the golf ball and exits lower than the golf ball, that's going to create a downward strike. A downward strike takes loft off of the golf club and will take spin off of the golf ball if your loft is not quite right. It's not quite as clean as cut as hitting down creates more spin and hitting up takes spin off. Understanding that that has to go hand in hand with the loft that you are creating. So let's talk about how we can hit up on the golf ball, and there's two ways. We can hit up on the golf ball with a handle length forwards and a head ascending. Now, a handle length forwards will create less loft of the golf club by virtue of the more the handle leans forwards, the more the loft looks at the floor. Then, by striking up on the golf ball, that pull line, the pull line that the golf ball has, the club head has on the golf ball, will give you the opportunity to create more launch. Unfortunately, the more that a golfer starts to hit up on the golf ball, where the handle starts to lift up, it tends to open the club face. So as I lift that club handle up, can you see how it starts to point that face to the right? I push that handle down, look how it points the face to the floor. And so there's now a bone of contention that pushing the handle down squares the face up. So I push the handle down, it squares the face up. But Stuart, I've taken off all of the loft. So surely what I want to do is hit up on the golf ball. Well, yes, you do, but you don't want to open face either, do you? So we've got a bit of an issue where we think about hitting up on the golf ball as just being one ingredient of the head ascending. And that head ascending, as I talk about, often comes in the way of a handle lean forwards and a club lifting up. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lean the handle forwards and I'm going to hit up on the golf ball. You will see an angle of attack up, but when I slow that golf swing down, you will see the handle in front of the golf ball. So I've hit up on the golf ball, the handle has gone forwards, I've hit up at 3.4 degrees, but can you see how the angle of attack at 3.4 up, my loft or my launch angle is only at 7 degrees. And so whilst I did hit up on the golf ball, because of the nature of hitting up, I then, for the camera, bowed my left wrist to square the face up. Now, unfortunately, with a shaft lean forwards, a face square and hitting up, I didn't really have too much loft. What I'm now going to do is hit up on the golf ball, but I'm not going to care about where the face points. So I'm going to push the handle forwards and hit up, but I'm not going to worry about simply the face angle. I'm just going to hit up on the ball. So I hit up on the ball, drive the handle forwards. I've hit up at it 0.3. What a nasty shot that is. And so all of a sudden you can see that face was wide open. My handle was forwards. I hit up on the golf ball and look how open the face is. Let's see if we can get a little bit more up on the ball and we can almost take out my camera in front of me here. So I'm going to hit up on the ball as we all try to do. So there's that strike up on the golf ball. I've hit up at 3.3. My path is from the inside. And you can see on the camera there, that handle is forwards, the strike is up because we've seen it, but unfortunately that face is wide open. I now straighten that up. I now do exactly the same motion. I move the handle up to get that hit up, this leaning back, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my left wrist angle and I'm going to line that face up more. So I did get that face a bit more lined up. It was a pretty brutal strike. TrackMan didn't get it. Let's have another go at that. So we move that handle forwards, hitting up, close the face down. So there we go, I got up on it, close the face down. You can see my dynamic loft has come down. So I've hit up at 3.7 degrees. My launch angle is only at 10 degrees, my face is close to path. And again, you can see that that ball is really knuckling out of the sky, not going to have very much spin on it. So this is one way of how we can experience, and if you have experience hitting up on the golf ball, in just simply feeling your chest back and simply striking up on the golf ball, if that's how you felt it, I've got another way to do it. Now with the aid of this lovely precision golf head cover that's been sitting there looking at you, I'm going to show you how that we can start to make this club head hit up on the ball. And I did a lovely piece on Sky Sports a couple of weeks ago where I talked about how this club head swings. And so the moment the club head swings past the handle, by virtue of the club head swinging past the handle, all of a sudden I'm now hitting up on the golf ball. The club head is rising up on the golf ball as it passes the handle. And that club head passing the handle is where we get the opportunity to create upstrike with loft rather than upstrike with an opening face and the ability or the need for us to then flatten the club face off with the left hand. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to show you what this is going to now look like, and then I'm going to show you a lovely drill in how to achieve it. So this is the sensation. So I've got, if you've watched enough of my content, you'll understand how the pressure down really gets us more into forward bend, more into posture. And now all of a sudden, I'm really looking for this club head to feel like I can swing it past me. And if you'll see, that left wrist is now very much cut down through strike. It might not look like it when I hit it, but that is very much the feeling that I'm trying to encourage. And if you haven't seen it, go check out that video up in the top right hand corner, because that will show you and talk you through how the left hand is such a prominent part to play in this movement. So the handle down and then the club head is going to swing. What you'll start to see is that angle of attack will hit up and I'll increase dynamic loft and launch. So now the golf club has swung. I've now hit up at 2.0. My club path is dead straight, but now you can see that the launch angle has now increased considerably. A very different sensation to the one where I'm trying to hit up with a rising handle. How do you do it? Well, what I want you to do is take the ball out of the way and pop a tee in its place. If you can, try to get a head cover that's so high, so it's, you know, below my grip. No, it's about the same height as my grip actually. Then what I want you to do is set yourself up to that head cover, and then what I'm wanting you to do is to make the handle come down closer to the floor, and what I want you to do is get the golf club to swing above the head cover. So as you swing, you're going to try to get the handle lower than it started, and then I'm going to get you to swing the club above the head cover. And as you swing the club head above the head cover, what I want you to do is that once the club head gets back to the ball, that club head is going to feel like it's passing you. It's going to feel like it's going to be a bit of a scoop with the right hand. It's going to feel like the left wrist is cupped and the club head is now, as you can see, straight pointing left. Now, the more the ball is forwards, the more chance you have of getting that club head to overtake. So what it would look like as a drill is ball in our usual spot. I move the handle down, I'm going to swing the club head over the top. And so I'm feeling how this handle can move down, club head is going to swing over the top. Now all of a sudden I've got way more loft in the grip in that left wrist. And if you can get the club head overtaking the handle, and you can get the handle lower, what you'll do is you'll go from having a handle high and the need to turn the face down to a handle low, which would now not work with that bowing of the left wrist, and you'll now need to put more cup back into that left wrist there. So once again, handle down, club head's going to swing face to path, so even more cup, even more swing. 14 degrees of launch. It's only faded because I got it slightly out the hill, but now all of a sudden I'm starting to get that angle of attack up, and the more I make the club head swing, the more angle of attack up that I'll get, and the more launch angle I'll get. The more launch angle, the more push down, the more cup, the more up, the more draw. And so a very different way of feeling how the club head is going to unload and swing down through strike here, as opposed to thinking about sitting back and hitting up. Hopefully that's been of some use. Do consider subscribing while you are here. And I think you'll find, my friends, that is good coaching.